Hello everyone, welcome back to another LEGO Legends of Chima review. Today I'm going to be reviewing set 70000, Razcal's Glider. Set contained 109 pieces, was released back in 2013, and retailed for 12 USD. This is definitely one of the, it's one of the smaller Chima sets, but just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's a really good set. This is, like, if you want to really bulk up that Raven army, that Raven collection, this is a great one to get. So yeah, let's just dive right into the minifigure, set, the manual, and then my final thoughts. So here is Razcal, and this minifigure is such a good figure. It is an insane minifigure. The Ravens definitely had like some of the best looking minifigures for sure. So yeah, but in terms of accessories, we have his little, like, I'm not 100% sure on the Chima names for these weapons, so you're gonna have to let me know down in the comments. But he has this really nice, like, kind of like claw weapon. I don't know, but like you'll see us use this, or you'll see me add this into the set. There's a little bit of a feature with this weapon, so you'll see what that's all about. And then he has a Chi Orb. I've already seen this in the last review with Raleigh's Claw Ripper. But yeah, no, here's the minifigure himself, and this was like revolutionary for 2013. These wings were like just so cool. They're just attached by little 1x1 clips right there. Very simple. And then he has the Chi harness here. We didn't see this in the last review, but you have this nice little silver harness with the Chi Orb there. And if we remove the head piece right there, I'm actually going to remove some of these accessories on him, so you can really see all that detail on this guy here. Just some really nice detail. Honestly, one of the more detailed Chima minifigures for sure. Back gets a little, kind of boring, but it's still really nice. And then he has such a good headpiece too. Like, this headpiece really does work for just other LEGO minifigures too, not just Chima. It works. It can really work for other figures for sure. But just such good, just great printing on this guy. It's so insane with the straps and stuff, the gold just piercing through here. It's so nice. And then the feathers in the back. But that's really all for Razcal here. One of the just better Raven minifigures. We definitely have a few that aren't really too good. Those will come up with some later reviews, but that is Razcal. So now let's get on to his glider. So here is Razcal's glider. This is a very simple little build. But it's still really good. You do have a good chunk of play features in here, not too many, but still, it's a small set, you can't really expect too many. So yeah, let's just dive right into some of the details here, starting with the head. So here's the head of the glider here, and it's actually built like pretty dang nicely. The beak is just one of these little like tooth pieces, but in gray. You have the nice red eyes here, the nice angle to the head. I do wish there was a sticker on there, but, or like a print maybe, that'd be really cool. I just feel like we're just missing some detail there, but it's still fine. It's nothing too crazy. And then Razcal's little seating area there is just a couple of studs. A few studs there, and then a bone as the little handle. So we're actually going to take Razcal. We're going to take all of his accessories off, because we have a few areas to actually put those accessories. You can just pop them in there, and just these right here. And there we go. Razcal fits in perfectly fine in his glider. Sort of a little camera angle here, but he fits perfectly fine right in there. And then we have a few other little details here with these little stickers over here. That is featured on both sides, and I believe those are the only two stickers you actually get in this set, which is pretty good. Wings over here can actually be adjusted which is pretty cool. They're both on just one little bar piece right here, but these can be adjusted. You can go in, you can go all the way in, which is really cool. Just like that. So like if you're like flying, but if you're flying like down, you know, these would probably be like folded up, and then if you're like just going straight towards them, probably don't want that, but you know, just cool little feature there, very simple. And then you can actually adjust the landing gear here, these little like claws down here, which is pretty cool. So these are adjustable. They do have these really awkward like blue Technic pieces, but it's not too big of a deal. And then over here, I guess our first play feature, you have this little like, you know, thing you can push, kind of like a flick missile. And then speaking of flick missile, you have a flick missile right here. So, you know, pretty cool, big 2013, you know, thing right there with the flick missiles, you know. Those were really big back then. We can pop that in. And it's just connected to a chain. And you're meant to kind of just grab the chi orb through this piece. So all you do is boom, there you go, and now you fly off with it. Or you can put it right on here, like that, and then just pop this in like so. And for the last play feature, it's actually with this little clip on the back, so you can see Razcal's weapon here. And you're like, oh yeah, where am I going to store this? Well, first of all, you can actually, if you want, just put this entire thing right here, which is what I usually just like to do. However, or just not even give him the weapon at all. But basically, you can do this, or, and I honestly do prefer that, but you can also take these off. This just adds, you know, more, you know, time, I guess, you know. But you can plop these on like so, and now you have more details there. You know, it works, yeah, but at the same time, is it needed? No, but it still does add for more of that detail, which I guess is pretty pretty nice there. But yeah, no, that's honestly really it for Razcal's glider. So now let's just go right on to the manuals. So just like Crawley's Claw Ripper, you get a set of 2 manuals. And same thing really. Figures, Lego.com, and then you have the Max on the back. I don't even know if they use Max anymore these days, but OG Max right there. And then you can see you got some of the Lego City down there. Some really nostalgic sets, especially that camper and that little truck right there. And then Lego Ninjago still seems to be present on there. Just kind of reusing some old stuff, it seems. And then back here, same thing as last time. Sets over here, sets over here, and then the 40 experience. Overall, I think this is a really, really good set. It's super, super affordable, even in terms of today. Like, you can find this on eBay for super cheap. Lower than, you know, even sometimes even sealed for lower than what it was worth, right? Which is really, really good. But if you do want to bulk up that Raven Army, this is definitely a really, really good set to get. And honestly, like, one of the best Chima sets to ever come, and with the yawn there, to ever come out. But yeah, no, I do think this is a really, really good set, and it's definitely one you should pick up if you just, you know, want a nice small little Chima set, really explore the theme a bit, just like Crawley's Claw Ripper. Just a very good set. But, you know, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll be reviewing a few more Chima sets here and there, and yeah, see you guys in the next one.